Hey everyone, it's been a good amount of time and kind of happy to be back, and we're gonna be going over a lot of stuff because I was gone a good amount of time and I missed quite a bit. And yeah, so starting off on this screen, obviously we're gonna be going over pretty much all the banners here. The new banner that just dropped, I believe, is like last night or something for me. The memory banner, I'm gonna be doing a separate video on it, but the rest I'm going to be covering here. Obviously, we have the two new banners, as well as I'm going to be covering the Subaru unit, just to do like an overview in my opinion on it. And then we're going to be looking at, again, all the characters, all the new memories, and we're going to take a look at the banner structures really quick. First, we're going to take a look at the step-up multis that we can do. I believe both Petras and Echidnas are the same. I haven't actually taken a look until now. It looks about the same. I don't get why they would differentiate it. Yeah, it looks about it. So first multi, you have half off. Then second multi, through the fourth one, you get the fragments. So they usually give out 50 fragments per character when a new character drops. They usually do it in different ways. Most of the times it's missions, but whenever a character has step-up multis, they take those 50 free fragments and they kind of just put them in the multis, which kind of sucks. But you should be doing step-ups regardless, because step-ups are actually really valuable. Not only do you get one half off, you also get a guaranteed featured memory. The memory is really easy to get regardless, because I believe you have a higher chance of getting memories, and then the featured memory actually has like an insane rate compared to like normal memories. Let me see if I can show you, because I remember looking at it, because we always look at the rates pretty much like in almost every summon video. I haven't actually opened this screen yet, so we're gonna have to watch this play out real quick. I think the rates are here. We're gonna look at a normal multi. Yeah, so you have 5% chance for getting memories rather than the 2.5 for characters. Then you go to the bottom. First one should be the memory. Yeah, so you have a 1.5% chance of getting the new memory, and then the other memories have a 0.1% chance. So comparing those two together, like you're almost always going to get like a new memory. So I think having one guaranteed copy at the end of the step ups is really nice, because it can definitely help a lot of people finish it off their memory and get a gold for those extra passives and stuff like that. So I do prefer multis quite a bit. I think I just leaked there, dude. Okay, no one pay attention to what you just saw. All right, I'm not summoning on a Echidna whatsoever, doing it for video in the future, definitely not. So yeah, that's pretty dope. So step ups, in my opinion, are just like really worth, especially because like you do get the free fragments, which is one free awakening. So it's kind of like a given. Like, why wouldn't you do it? Especially when we have an entire month on both of these step ups. I don't think I'm gonna do both. I think I'm just gonna do Echidnas. I mean, no, I'm not gonna do Echidnas. What are we talking about? What? But yeah, so if you do want to summon, I'd say just set your limit. Like if you're not too sure, just set your limit at that step up banner. The normal banner is kind of whatever. We're gonna switch over now and talk about the characters. All right, so first we're gonna talk about Subaru, just because he came out first. He's no longer here, which is unfortunate, because it would have been nice to give him my opinion while he was here, but it is what it is. You know, I was out of town. Taking a look at I love his art. It's pretty cool. Taking a look, I mean, first off, it's another Subaru. That's super exciting. I love how they added another Subaru in the game. I unfortunately very much hate this Subaru. Why? Because he came at a very bad time, because I was leaving, so I was like, fuck it, I have to do at least one summoning video for when I'm gone. So I just went ahead and spent my gems on Amelia. Didn't get Amelia, didn't get anything useful. I think, I can't remember, to be honest. And then this guy drops, and I've been wanting a character like this forever. I've been wanting a purple unit, or a purple unit for like collapse, a purple mono support unit. I've been wanting a character like this forever, and as soon as I get what I want, I have no gems for it. I think I was able to do like 2 multis on this banner, and I didn't get them. I was so mad. So yeah, I'm just kind of pissed off at this character in general. So that's my bias, and yeah, we'll get into it. So max level. On his basic, physically attacks a single enemy is 600% power, has a 100% chance to give all allies agility up for 2 turns. The power of this skill increases the more agility you have. I love that gimmick because I love speedy characters, so having your speed correlate to your agility is fucking dope, especially because it goes so well with all the other mono purples. Then we have his passive. When the enemy increases their action gauge, the effect is reduced by 75%. Incredibly strong, incredibly useful. When you get a turn, there's a 100% chance you'll inflict 2 damage over times on all enemies for 1 turn. So that's just like a proc. That's literally just a passive. That's insane. Assuming how they, if they don't remove it. Honestly, you're losing if you go up against mono red in any team. So basically, whenever I say, hey, this is pretty cool, just think about it in the terms of you're not fighting mono red, because mono red is stupid overpowered, and we're gonna get to that when we get to that with Petra and Echidna. But yeah, mono red pisses me off. A lot of things piss me off in this game. Additionally, if your agility is 230 or more, there's a 100% chance you inflict freeze. So freeze is pretty interesting. Not a lot of PvE mobs can get inflicted with this, but this could be pretty interesting in PvP. And then also Purple Collapse. So Purple Collapse on a passive proc, very good, because you don't really want to gamble it on like actual like the character's debuff chance on an actual ability. Like having it proc on a passive is just way better. I still don't know how passives really proc compared to you know, in correlation with debuff resistance and stuff like that, but you know, it's not. I think passive wise, it's better. And either way, you still have it on the ability here, so that's pretty nice. Then we have the skill 3, physically attacks a single enemy with 1400% power. It's a 100% chance to inflict 3 collapses for 1 turn. Okay, so yeah, this is a single enemy. Yeah, it's pretty strong. 3 collapses, holy fuck. And reduces the maximum HP of the enemy by 50% of the damage dealt. I feel like this is kind of like a whatever ability. It sounds kind of nasty on paper, but I've never had it really be an issue for me. I don't know, maybe I just haven't been paying attention. It's hard to actually like just calculate that in like mid battle, because you can't see it. Like if you're full HP, like I have a Shion. Obviously Shion gets like a shield and she gets high defense, so like I don't know if this ability goes through shield, but even if it does, like I can't tell, because she's always gonna be at full HP whenever she gets hit by like Bride Amelia or what is it, Birthday Amelia and stuff like that, because Birthday Amelia also has this ability, I think. So it's kind of hard to gauge how good it is, really. But and also like, does this even work on bosses? I feel like that'd be insanely overpowered. Like if you can stack a lot of these characters, yeah. So I don't know how I feel about that ability. Additionally, if there are 2 or more purple allies, the power of the skill is increased by 1000%. The power of the skill increases the more agility you have. So you just want to build agility on this character for sure. He's great, like as good as he is for like damage. Like he's mainly there for the collapses, the debuffing, the action gauge stopping is really nice. And yeah, he's overall like a really good purple support. I wish I was able to pull him, or I wish I was able to save. I just can't believe he dropped right after Amelia. I wouldn't have summoned on Amelia if I wasn't going out of town. I'm so mad. It is what it is. Bonus skills, debuff chance 10%. That's nice. Debuff chance 30%. That's nice. So 40% total, as well as agility 10% up. I much rather have the debuff 40% than an extra agility, because you can build agility fairly well, but debuff chance is kind of a little hard to build it in this game, so that's pretty nice. I much like that. Increases allies attack 35% in quest battles. Not sure what that means, but I'm assuming just like story quests. Where with the supply? I have no idea. There's plenty of other attack leads in the game, though. You really don't need this guy, so don't worry about it too much. His HP is 1300, nothing too crazy. Attack's obviously going to be low because it's based off his agility. His defense is pretty low as well. Agility 183. Not insane, but it's probably one of the top numbers we've seen in a good amount of time. Crit rate 50, 120, 60% debuff chance, so that's really nice. 35% debuff rate. Interesting. So this is what he has as potential builds. Yeah, you kind of want this. I've been wanting to try action gauge on the new SP slots for the blue hammers. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but I've been trying to find like units I can use it on and get away with it, because I want to see how good it is. I think I put it on one character. I can't remember who. I think I put it on the actually. Oh, I can't leak it. I'm sure you guys know by now. I put it on Christmas Echidna, so I'm gonna see how that works out. Even though she doesn't have any awakening, so I can't really test her out too crazy. Interesting that he has hammer build recommendations though. That's pretty neat. if you ever need build recommendations, I guess you just come to the wiki. Then looking at his memory, if unit is a human, agility plus 8, 5, 6, that's 19, I think. If unit is a human at the start of battle, there's a 100% chance to increase your action gauge by 80%. So yeah, idle memory is like a fart in the wind now compared to a lot of these memories nowadays. If unit is a human, when you get a turn, there's a 100% chance you'll give yourself debuff chance. Oh, this memory is insanely overpowered if you have it gold. The ones where you start off with debuff chance, like I still remember Golden Week Mimi's memory. That's pretty strong, especially for her. If you're able to get this gold and have at least one copy of the Subaru, yeah, you're sitting pretty, especially with mono purple. I don't know how good they can compete. Again, mono red is so stupid, but they could potentially be like one of the second best mono teams if you have everyone maxed out, which does include the festival unit Echidna, so that's going to be pretty hard and rare to have. Again, you also probably really need this memory maxed out. So if you do have them fully maxed out somehow, like you have the entirety of mono purple maxed out, you can potentially be pretty nasty. But other than that, I don't know. So that's gonna do it for Subaru. Overall, he's a pretty great addition to mono purple. We still don't have a mono support really. The mono support, in my definition, is when a character permanently buffs the stats of a certain typing. Although the Subaru does give collapse and it was desperately needed, we still need mono support, which is this Echidna right here. Red allies will always have 70% more HP and 50% more defense. That's just permanent. That's just something she applies and you can't turn it off. Even if, you know, she gets distracted, this will always have. This is just part of like the battle now. Mono purple needs something like that, and until they get that, I don't really see them even coming close to mono red. And even if they do get it, mono red has that in like tenfold. They have like if you can take all of the mono red units and build as many teams as you have, or as you can, like with only one character per team, like you can't reuse characters. They have like 3 separate mono teams and they're all really good. It's insane how many red units there are and how many good red units there are. I don't know why they just keep producing more red units and it's so annoying. But yeah, so again, moving into the new 2 red units that they wanted to add, and they both have new skills or new buffs and slash debuffs, so that's really annoying. Starting off with Echidna, skill 1, physically attacks a single enemy with 600% power, has a 100% chance of inflicting silence for 3 turns. When used for a second time, the power increases to 200%, and you have by 200%, so that's gonna become 800%, and you reduce the enemy's maximum HP by 50% of the damage dealt. This isn't too crazy because it's a basic attack. You're not gonna be doing that much damage, so what kind of a waste. After 3 times used, the power is further increased by 200, making it 1,000, and you have a 100% chance to inflict charm for 1 turn. Honestly, if they just take out the stupid gimmick of it increasing every single turn, just have it charm and silence, that'd just be normal. Like I'd much prefer that. I feel like this just drags shit out for like no reason. I kind of liked it at first because it was something different, but I'm just thinking about it more and more. Turn after turn after turn, it's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of pointless. It's kind of boring. It's kind of whatever. Don't really care. Taking a look at her debuff. The new debuff is called Silence. You cannot receive cooldown reduction from abilities, buffs, or from gaining a turn. Nor can you inflict cooldown increase. So this is pretty strong. This is kind of insane to be honest. So you can't gain any cooldowns. You're just stuck at your same cooldowns. You're only allowed to use basics. That's okay. Well, shit. Then you can't gain buffs. Okay. And then you can't have your other teammates help you out with your cooldown because you don't receive those cooldown abilities. And so it's like, okay, maybe I can at least increase the cooldowns on the enemies so we can both stall out. No, you can't even do that. So silence is pretty nutty. And think about it. It's on a red character. Good luck fighting that. Yeah, so yeesh. Red allies moving into our passive, red allies will always have 70% more HP and 50% more defense. I know there's some other units that give red allies permanent stat increases. I don't know the numbers compared, so I don't know if she's better or worse. But just, and I don't even know if they can stack. That's the scary part. If you have multiple of these units that can increase permanently like players' stats, if they stack, that's scary. Actually scary. When getting attacked, restore 5% of maximum HP. That's just a great passive. When an ally's buff is removed, there's a 100% chance to reduce all enemies' action gauge by 30%. This can be kind of mid depending on who you're fighting. If you have also how it works. If you have an AoE unit on the enemy team that can just remove everyone's buffs on your team in an instant, and it only procs for like one buff, then it's just like a 30%. But if you have a character that can remove is only a single target, excuse me, if you have an enemy that can only reduce one character's buffs or just take away one character's buffs and they do it over and over and over again, then you're constantly having that benefit throughout the battle. So it just depends on who you're fighting, really. But this is pretty nice. Also, if it depends per buff. I don't think it will, because that sounds way too crazy. Just like the hits, how every single hit you deal. If you're dealing like a debuff, you can also apply that debuff every single hit. I don't think it works like that in this case, because I think that would just be insanely broken. So then we have skill 3. Magically attacks all enemies with 700% power. Has a 100% chance to remove all buffs from everyone and increase everyone's cooldowns by 3 turns. Additionally, okay, I'm sorry. Additionally, activate a field effect that applies silence to everyone for 2 turns. So not only does she have one of the most insane debuffs, one of the best passives for a mono team, she can activate a field skill without the 4th skill. She's basically a festival unit. What are they doing? Sega, what are you doing, dude? Oh my god. So this applies to everyone for 2 turns. So this is very bad if you're running like so I tried using this in the daily dungeon for the subjugation, where like the daily challenge or the daily damage score test, and I wasn't receiving any cooldowns. It's like, wait, what's going on? And then I realized that the field effect was active and I wasn't getting any cooldowns. So this is terrible for PvE content. In PvP, you can kind of use it to your advantage if you're being strategic about it. Most of the times, this is just a detriment to the entire team, and you're just going to be stalling out the fight. It's lame. I don't understand. I really don't like field effects that apply to everyone, because, you know, we have to make it balanced that way. But at the same time, if it's not, then it's just insanely broken, and you're breaking the meta with every festival unit that has a field skill. So I kind of get it. But this just makes matches boring, like super boring. I don't know if this debuff should even just like exist in the first place, because that's 2 turns. 2 turns, no one's getting cooldowns, no one's increasing cooldowns. Everyone's just kind of using basic attacks unless they already have their skills procced. But even then, like, she reduces cooldowns by 3 turns. So if you're fighting one, then you just lose all your cooldowns, and then everyone has to just stall out. It's weird. I'm sure it could be used in very advantageous ways, but like on paper, it just seems super boring. Then we have her bonus skills: defense, agility, attack. She is kind of an attacker, surprisingly enough. Her attack's pretty high. Then just like the attack 30%. Like, I can kind of see it. She's kind of all over the place, really. Every time she gets hit, she heals, so it's like kind of like a tank ability. But then she has like the attack stats, and then she has like a defense leader skill, which is very weird. Although leader skills never really properly correlate with the actual unit. Sometimes they do. Most of the time, they do. But you do see it pretty often, like where the leader skill is just out of left field. So yeah, pretty interesting. I want to see what he hasn't put a hammer build for her. Okay, interesting. Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Okay, then we have stats. We'll take a look at the stats. HP is 1500. That's pretty solid for an attacker. 1300 attack. Nothing too crazy, but it's definitely solid as well. Like, it is hard, like, deciding what to build her. Defense is 900. Agility is a whopping 195. So, watch out for that. Crit rate, 50%, 120, 20, 35. Standard, she's pretty much a really solid mono red unit. God, if you can like apply, if you could just combo her with Amelia, with new OVA Amelia, Jesus. Well, OVA Amelia is just insane. She's a new staple because Reflect is just insanely overpowered. If you can just like stall out the enemy team for a little bit and just stack Reflects, then your team's just gonna wipe out instantly. I just can't beat it. It's mono red is just the instant win. If you have any of the good mono red units, I was looking at my mono red teams for the new game mode. I literally have not a single mono red unit in the game. It's so wild. Like how bad my account is. If you have at least one mono red unit, to some degree, you're like fine. It's kind of crazy how strong red units are in this game. It's baffling. It just astonishes me. Then we have our memory. If unit is Christmas, attack, agility attacks, 20% attack, 20% or 10% agility. Pretty solid for her kit. If unit is Christmas, when attacked, there's a 100% chance to remove one debuff himself. Nothing too crazy. If unit is Christmas, when an ally is defeated, increase their own action gauge by 80%. So yeah, she's not really meant to be the tank. She's there to like hit semi-hard as well as hit those debuffs and really just like apply her shit on the enemy team. As long as you get her going, that's probably like what they want you to do with her. Overall, pretty neat, whatever. I'm happy it's another Echidna unit, a normal Echidna unit that isn't a festival. That's pretty dope. It's just like she's mono red. She's so wild, but I'm glad I have her, so it is what it is. Looking at Petra, Christmas Petra, skill 1, physically attacks an enemy with 400% power, is 100% chance to remove one debuff from all allies and restore 50% of maximum HP. I think the heal is only on her. If it's on her entire team, that's just wow, holy shit. But the debuff on all allies is really nice. She has a great basic. Then her skill 2, at the beginning of the battle, there's a 100% chance you will give self, I think this is affection, for 1 turn, and give all allies agility for 2 turns. Additionally, all allies that have 1800 defense or more will be given protection for 1 turn. Every 3 turns, give self affection. So we're gonna take a look at the new buffs for her. She has 2 new buffs. Affection causes or can use any skill regardless of the cooldown state. So this is like a mono red counter to mono red, I guess. And then protection is you need both of these procced in order to fight an Echidna, but I think if an Echidna gets rolling before you can proc these two, then you're in trouble. But obviously both of these proc at the beginning of the fight, right? Is that what I just read? At the beginning of the battles, okay, so you get affection, you give all allies. Additionally, okay, yeah, so if you have an 1800 defense or more at the beginning of the battle, you get both. I don't know how hard that is going to be to proc at the beginning of the battle, but we'll see. So buffs can no longer be removed from you. That's wild. These two are in combination, especially, are just really strong. It's just wow. These are wild. You're just gonna be running over the enemy team, and mono red already does that. I've thought so many times with mono red, they do like 2 full rotations on me before I even get an attack in PvP. I can't even imagine with a Petra on their team. That is terrifying. So yeah, I think she's better than Echidna. If you do want to go for a mono red unit, I think you probably want this Petra first and then Echidna. I just went Echidna because I like the character. It's just pretty much plain and simple. 3-turn cooldown gives all allies agility up for 2 turns, removes all debuffs from them, and restores 30% of their maximum HP. So she really likes agility, huh? Removes all debuffs from allies. Jesus, it restores 30% of their maximum HP. That's a solid chunk of heal, especially when you have the combination with the remove all debuffs. Although, no, that's good. All red allies except self that have 1800 defense or more will be given protection and affection for 1 turn. So if you don't have the proc here, or like they get rid of your buffs, you can just reproc here, especially with both activation at the same time. If your allies have the 1800 defense, which they should, because the leader skill, her defense is really nice as well. Holy shit, she's almost there just off base. And then obviously the defense, is there a mega defense buff? There is a large debuff, or a large defense enhancement. You just need a character with this. I don't know if there's any red characters with this. I'm sure there are because they're so overpowered. Increase defense by 100%. Bam, you're good to go. Yeah, wow, she is the ultimate red support. It basically, this character just basically allows you to do whatever you want without being bothered. She's very strong, very strong. Although I might retract my statement on Echidna being a staple. Oh, no, I didn't say that. I think I said Amelia is a staple. Yeah, this unit is also stable for sure. So the staples of mono red are probably the best mono red team would be Amelia, new Amelia, the OVA one, this Petra, Daphne, and Swimsuit Betty. I think those are probably your best. This is probably your best mono red team. The mono team's just, it's wild, dude. Then you still have Future Betty. You have Swimsuit Leah. You have Echidna. See, it's almost one full other team that you can debatably be just as strong. It's kind of wild just how strong mono red is. It's wild. Her bonus skills are defense 40%. Jesus. Debuff resistance 20%. That's very nice because she's just there to do her thing and just stay alive. Have not really get in anyone's way. HP is 1300. That's fine. Attack is obviously low. Defense is obviously high. Agility is pretty mid. Makes sense. They usually don't have like these support characters having insane agility unless like that's part of the kit. Then crit 50, 120, 20, 55 because of the bonus. Yeah, she's great. Absolutely fantastic. If unit is Christmas, so this can be comboed with Echidna's as well. Agility plus 19. If unit is Christmas at the beginning of the battle, there's a 100% chance you'll increase your own action gauge by 80%, similar to the purple Subaru, I think it was. So that's very good. If unit is Christmas, when you get a turn, give all allies defense. Okay, yes, yeah. So I was wondering where the defense would come in play. Yeah, if you have her, if you have this memory gold and you have one copy of Petra, you are flying through teams. Wow. I kind of regret summoning on Echidna now, just because how insane Petra is. I actually didn't look at either of them. I had some people ask me in the comments what my opinions were, and I just like really quickly just like looked like and glanced really quick. But actually just like staring and looking at them, Petra's definitely the best option. So that's gonna do it for this video. If you do want to summon, I would suggest doing the multis only first. See how your luck goes. You need 4.5k gems in total in order to do all of the full steps. And then I believe it's only one full rotation. So once you complete the final step, you're not going to be able to do it again. Although that would be nice if that was just how the banners were. Is what it is. You have an entire month. I do expect some crazy stuff for New Year's probably. We still have Garf, Fred, and Felt coming out for New Year's. They're all going to be entire costumes, sort of. Or no, Felt is, and then Garf is in his suit, and then Fred is in like a kind of like a cultural. It looks like something like that would be like in their culture, like in the lore or something. I don't know. It looks. That sounds so stupid. She's in a very pretty dress. Let's just call it what it is. And then we still have a dress Rem. We have no idea when she's gonna drop. And then a bunch of other characters. We have all of the witches in the. I've seen. So Minerva has her cut in, and she has her art. And then the Witch of Sloth has her art as well. She looks hot. Anime only viewer here. I have no idea anything about her, but she looks hot as fuck. The one with the pink hair that always lays down, if you don't know. Then we have Typhoon. I don't know. She's the little kid. I think she's adorable. She has an animation in the game where she's petting Subaru's head, and she's like, "Who hurt you?" And she gets mad, or "Who made you cry?" or something like that. If you remember that scene from the anime when she gets mad at someone she's mad because Subaru's crying and she's like, who did this to you? I think, first of all, that's so sweet, and like she's just a little kid, so it's adorable. I think she's one of my favorites. And then I'm trying to think of any other witches that I think that might be it. But yeah, a bunch of witches are like in the game, so just be cautious. They can drop at literally any time and go away within like 4 days. So that's just gonna be how it is. That's gonna do it for the video. Sorry, it's a bit of a long one. We have a lot to catch up on. I expect probably one more video today, and then that's gonna be it. I'm gonna be keeping a pace of like 2 videos per day, so I don't overload you guys. But yeah, that's gonna do it, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.